Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. There's a notifications bell down at the corner that will let you know as to when I go live. So today with Coffee with Manda and a special guest, I have Athena coming on, and she will be talking a little bit about how we met and what it's like being quarantined with my little self, my weird self. I'm going to address some comments and say hello real quick because she is actually making the coffee for Coffee with Manda. Hi, Blair. Hi, Cyanide and Happiness. Hi, Rayad. The Obsessive Painter. Hello. Hi, Megan. So yeah, very exciting. One thing in the descriptions underneath where I usually I have my PayPal and things, I also put Athena, her GoFundMe underneath that. So if you want, check that out after our vlog and see if you can help her out with some clothes or whatever. Hi, Randall. Oh my gosh, it's nice to see you. Okay, Athena, are you about ready? Okay. I don't know if she forgot. Hi, Pasha. Okay, so Athena's on her way right now. Hi, Dan. I'm doing good, doing good. We are in what is like a quarantine situation for the city of Seattle, and I'm immunocompromised, so it has to be a thing. This is Athena. Hi. No, take it down. You're good. So Athena, thank you for the coffee. Appreciate it. If you would like to tell people how you know me.
Well,
Woo! Under a bridge.
yes, and we enjoyed these weeks together, and we had a really awesome little camp together. And we've always kind of helped each other out in terms of, just surviving. So if there's ever a person that I would much rather be quarantined with, it's probably Amanda.
Which not many people can say. I'm very regimented and I got issues.
It's a little hard.
I can be. So I know that a lot of you have watched a lot of my vlogs, and you'll hear me talk about the start of when I started being camp mom and why I started that. And I will talk about this time that I was sitting in a tent with one of my street kids talking about how we could enlighten the world and everything about the stereotypes while we were living it so they could be educated. That person is Athena. And at first we were talking about putting it on Reddit. But because of that, at that point, I was still like undergoing neuro rehab and wasn't really good with writing. The only thing I could really do is express myself through talking. And so Reddit wasn't it. And then we talked about it. And at the end, I was like, okay, I'll do a Facebook blog. You can go live. And so that was actually the start of being camp mom and trying to educate people about the falsehoods and the lack of knowledge about that community in particular. I'm going to address a couple comments. Thank you, Rayad. Jill, hi. Hi from Seattle. I hope you guys are all staying safe. Megan says, hi, Athena.
Hello, Megan.
I'm bored. I hope you stay safe. Athena is a really pretty name. It is.
Thank you.
It is. And it fits her. It does. And the reason I say that is because she's a warrior. She's a survivor. And I don't think there's any shame in that. She's overcome a lot and it's still a battle. And if there's one person I know that is, I know lots of warriors, honestly. I know a lot of people that have battled some shit, but she's one of them. And so it definitely fits her. Hi, Sheila. Yes, we are staying healthy. We have, because of Kate, we have a row of vitamins and supplements that we are taking, and we are doing our best to completely, as much as humanly possible at this juncture, we are isolating and making sure that everything is necessary. Like it's definitely, yeah, it's like sharing but like in encampments, we could go places.
Mhm.
This is just real up close and personal. It really is. Rayad, how is it like in Seattle with the coronavirus? Okay. Um, First, I don't think that it was taken seriously enough. And now it is becoming more and more clear the reality of this situation and the danger that it poses. Um, what for me is really disheartening is watching people have to be forced to take public health measures, watching people worry about, you know, I understand having economic concerns, but this is concerns about lives. This is time to just stop with that. There are programs that are there to help. If you lost, like for example, if you're self-employed and you lost income, what you need to do now is go onto the DSHS website and apply for benefits. And I think that's going to be really hard for a lot of people is there's a stigma about receiving care or governmental assistance, but you're not going to make it without it right now. So it's time to look at your paid time out. It's time to get on welfare if you need it. Whatever you need to do to be okay, this is the time. And so there are programs to help. And this isn't a time for ego. This is a time to accept help when you need it and try to help your community. I saw one of my neighbors when I was taking Rowan out. Of course, 6 foot distance. I'm good about distancing, and I carry a wet wipe to wipe down handles and shit. Um, but I told him, I said, if you do need something, put a note on my door, knock on my door. It's okay. Like I can put a call out, and I've got a wonderful support system that really will be helpful in answering those calls for help. And I'm really, really thankful for that. But this is what this time is about. It's about reaching out to your neighbors, as we go into this, we'll be trading food if necessary or whatever supplies we need. And this is going to take a community effort. And in my view, the government shouldn't have to tell you to take care of one another. I am appalled at the fact that people have to have freaking legislation or whatever to quit profiting off of people's misery. It's enough. And as it falls, I'm clapping on that level. And the fact that we as American, our government pumped 1.5 trillion, that's with a T, trillion into our stock market. And it's gone, 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 gone. And we could have lifted people up. We could have made sure they were safe. We could have made sure that they were housed. It's infuriating to me. And I don't ever want to forget why we're in this situation, but it is about, yes, listen to the government and their mandates, but you should be doing this stuff long before they tell you you have to. Like scientists are telling you one thing, okay, do it. You know what I mean? Like they are the experts. I'm going to address some comments. Sheila, Johnny was quarantined for our, oh my God. Sheila, keep me posted. Sending love to Donnie. Let him know I'm thinking about him. Keep yours safe, Sheila. You got a lot of people that would be in a real, yeah, we'll talk about it. Hey, Blair, Rayad, in Iraq, it spreads quickly. I've heard, yeah, it's so hard to keep up with all the countries and what's happening, and it's heartbreaking, just heartbreaking. And what's really heartbreaking is to see people think that somehow this is a human disease. This doesn't care about borders. This doesn't care about any of that. And this is where humans need to drop that attitude and come together and love one another and help one another, And so I just wish you safety, Ryan. I do. you and yours. Like, I wish everybody to just be safe and be okay during this and help one another out. Let's see. Terry. Hi, Terry. Hi, Sylvan. Megan. Somebody was like, oh, yeah, you think it's unethical to charge $100 for a bottle of Purell? Guess what? It's also unethical to charge $700 for a $500 inhaler. Maybe people understand why we need medical for all. Well, see, and that's the thing is, you know, I think that they are both signs of price gouging for sure. And I think that the insulin is a crime against humanity on a large level. And I think that's the difference maybe between price gouging with Purell but it is rather the same act. But we have to understand that one of those, the amount of people it's killed and destroyed their lives, the insulin charging, they should be held liable for crimes against humanity because that is a criminal act. So Sylvan starting to spread here in Quebec. Yeah. Lotus Blossom. How do I think this virus started? Right now, I believe that they are saying it is zoonotic. And so we do know that it mutated and passed from an animal into human. At this time, since this is a novel virus, we're going to find more and more about it. So I'm holding reservations on that. And I honestly, it doesn't matter to me. Like at this juncture where it started, none of it matters at all. Like we are, everybody's like, oh, I can't find any information, all this misinformation. It's like, it doesn't really matter. People are dying. Like at this point, follow instructions and, do what you can. Like it doesn't, that stuff will come later as we learn more and more about it. So yeah, right. I agree, Sheila. That can be a real loaded question. And the thing is, I think this is really, especially, for all the people that did not listen to any scientists on climate change, like this is like one of those scenarios where it's like, okay, well, we didn't listen when it's like, oh, you're dead, your generations ahead of you will die because of this. Well, now it's like, you're going to die. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now is the time to listen to scientists. They do know what they're talking about. There is such a thing as, the scientific method, evidence-based, um, and the fact that science is real, like science is real. The earth is round. Science is real. No, sorry. All around the world, we know. All the puns.
Oh my goodness. This is her.
I think it's under I think the A's is the same, but it might be a different last name. Attention. Give me attention. Give me all the attention. Give me all the attention. I'm so bored. I would address some comments other than the troll. Gave me a good laugh. Love from England, love from Seattle. See, I love all this, like just a global audience, and I find like a lot of hope in that. I do like the fact that we are, this global community of people that are affected by the same things and feel the same way and have all of these characteristics of the human race, and we understand that and reach out to one another, and that gives me huge hope, a lot of hope. And I think that in this time especially, it's huge to have that. Despite the good economy, America has a healthcare system of yours that bad. Yes.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Here's the thing. Are our doctors bad? No. Depending on region. That is really a regional thing as to whether your doctors are good or not. The system itself is flawed deeply and crumbling before our eyes. Yeah, we are going to find out really, really quickly why it's important to take care of our most vulnerable citizens. And if we don't, the impact of that will be felt by every single one of us. We are only as strong as our weakest member, period. End of story. And so I think that's going to be a lesson that a lot of people are going to have to learn. Um, and it's unfortunately going to come at the cost of a lot of lives. Let's see, Blair, she is. Rayon, no, but in Alabama is, yeah, and Louisiana was horrible. That's why I had to go to Seattle. There was literally no type. And I had insurance at the time. It wasn't, I didn't have like Medicaid or anything, but I had like my ex-husband's, United Healthcare. It was horrible, horrible. There was no neuro rehab for me. It was a walk it off, and I couldn't walk it off, so my life wasn't valuable. And that is uncool, very uncool. And coming here really saved my life. So it was a huge deal. But yeah, it's totally regional, and it's also wealth based. Okay, Rayad, in the United States, if you have money, you have better healthcare. For example, I was talking with my neurologist at one point, and I asked her, I said, is there a point where I can get hyperbaric oxygen? I've heard it's really good. Or at least even get like a SPECT or a PET scan to see what the physiological signs of the damage. And she said, nope, those treatments aren't available. And I was like, I know they're available. What are you talking about? She's like, yeah, but not for you because you have Medicaid and it won't pay for it. So there are treatments. They're telling me there are treatments totally available, but you're poor. And so your life does not matter as much. And that's unfortunately the way our entire country is run. It's a very class and wealth-based system. Let's see. Hi, Nicolette. Nice to see you. This is Athena, if you if you haven't been here. Blair, that's not your sister? Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. I don't know why she's coming up. You should let your sister know that somebody's doing that. Megan, I was about to say it's a wealth issue. If you're super wealthy area, I'm sure it's much better. In New Jersey, the fancy areas outside New York City, there are wonderful medical facilities. Yeah. Do many people in Seattle feel that this is no more serious than the flu? They did. I think a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. And were you? Mm-hmm. Okay. What changed your mind? Let's talk about this, because I took this seriously from the get. I knew what was coming. I was like, nope, I know, I'm good.
Like, I mean, the way that it wasn't that serious. All my peers were like, oh yeah, it's just the flu. It'll be fine. And then I started seeing, other countries and how they've been affected by it, and how they're literally shutting down, a system that creates money for people. They are going to.
Hold on. She's saying lean closer to the mic. There you go.
Yeah. So they're actually shutting down their countries, and I kind of looked at all of it, and I decided that this is obviously not. This is not good. Sorry. Yeah. This is serious.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of sums it up a little bit.
Right. Let's see. So no, people are taking it seriously here now. And I think that here's the thing. We have great leadership. Mm-hmm. We really do. We have, I don't know if people know this, but we have a huge science facilities here, such as like the Allen Institute and Fred Hutch, and I'm not going to name them all. There's tons of them. Mm-hmm. And so it's a really huge deal. So we have like if we have anything going on, we have it like right now. And we also have people that are based and believe in science. So we know what to do from the get. Mm-hmm. Jay Inslee was like, no, this is what we do, because he listens to scientists. And so it was, yes, his effort was slow, but a lot of that was because of the CDC and the federal government not being prepared. And it really, as soon as we realized that the federal government was a catastrophe, we immediately got our UW working on getting testing. We immediately got our own people on working for testing. The Gates Foundation came forward and said, we're going to get testing. So I think that we're in a very good spot here for, even if we are the epicenter, what's going on and the advances that we will make. And I am really, as much as I still think that, there's some adjustments that, should have been done a long time ago, I am really happy with the efforts that they are trying to make and the care for the citizens that is being shown. Let's see, Blair. Whoever is acting like my sister should know that impersonation is a crime if I'm thinking right. Yeah, hold on, Blair. I'm gonna just do something here. Let's see here, because I think somebody, yes, I think Lotus actually showed me how to do this. Okay, cool. All right, whatever. We're just going to do this and remove. Okay, so, all right. Terry, do you advise if you're sick, move to better areas for better doctors? Not now. Not now. Now that's over. Like, those choices are done. Those choices are over. Those choices no longer exist right now until this is over. It is shelter in place. And I've heard some, of course, funny little jokes about, some people are being called to the front lines. We're being called to sit on our couches. That's what we need to do. Let's see. I finally found enough chicken to feed my dogs for next week. I went to 7 stores over the weekend to get 0 chicken for the dogs. Yeah, it's Kate. It's going to get bad. And the only thing I can tell you is if it doesn't get better, start filing for benefits. Like, that's what everybody is going to have to do. Is we're technically all going to be on government assistance until this is over. Lotus Blossom, even at the Life Care Nursing Center home, not all the residents over 80 died or even got sick. Hold up. What? No, it's not automatic death sentence. Here's the thing. Everybody, it really depends on your underlying conditions. The dangerous thing with this virus is, number one, how many people really know if they have an underlying condition until it's diagnosed? How many people who have heart disease know before a heart attack? You know what I mean? And that's going to knock you down. It doesn't matter if you're 21 or you're 85. The problem is what we're trying to tell people is you don't know about others. You don't know who's sick. You don't know. You don't know if you have an underlying condition. You don't know if your other people have an underlying condition. And because this is not visual, this is a pathogen that you cannot see, act accordingly. And that means stay put. Stay put. Stay put. Let's see. I don't think they will move you. Move food. There is enough food. We have shortages because people are acting stupid. Yeah, well, there is enough food. Absolutely. People are acting terrified. The problem is yes, this is a fear-inducing situation. You should be scared of a pathogen that could kill you. Like, that's normal. What's not normal is not being able to temper. And here's the thing. I guess when you've been in situations that are life-threatening over and over and over and over again, you lose that. It just is.
Yeah.
The trauma just is. It isn't, it is what it is, But other people who haven't done this, say people who have never been in these kind of situations, they don't know how to handle it. And there is a fear response. That is a physiological thing within us that is built within us. And there are a lot of people who have not been traumatized since birth. I know, crazy.
Mhm.
It is hard to imagine sometimes, because it is nice sometimes to think that there is a large group of people that, have been through this, and things like that. But there's a large number of people who have never been and never had to undergo significant trauma. And for them, this is normal in extremis mammalian behavior. Maybe not exchange of money, but hoarding resources and supplies and acting in those behaviors really is normal human behavior. And so I try to remember that and have compassion for people, because when I see people doing that, I really try to understand that they're trying to prepare for something they don't understand. And they don't understand even their own responses sometimes. Like, if you've never undergone it, never had to deal with it, understanding those responses from trauma. Like, I think I saw the most truthful thing the other day where it says, luckily, I've learned to dissociate from a long time ago. Like, this comes in
Mhm.
handy. Like, there's been a lot of dissociation,
Mhm.
and just removing myself, because this is a trauma. This is how this rolls. There isn't much you can do about it. Let me comments are rolling up, so hold on, I'm going to go back. Sorry about that. People just do, I know. Yeah, Desiree. Lotus, I didn't mean to spread rumors. That's what I heard from media. I wanted to didn't ask. Okay, we're fear and anxiety weakens the immune system to rumors that cause more fear and anxiety. Well, some I don't know what we're talking about rumors, because the thing is there doesn't need to be rumors at all. There's CDC web, there's scientific sites all over. Brookings Institute, um, you've got Harvard working on it, UW, University of Washington. We have the top scientists working on it. Don't listen. If you don't want to listen, if you don't believe what the media tells you, or you're questioning the media, go to the source. Go to the scientists that are saying it. You don't have to read a headline. Go in there, make sure you source check your links. No one has to listen to rumors from media, okay? Media is just there to present us with information, period. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Media is not fake or unfake or whatever.
Mhm.
Media is there to present you with this A, B, or C, this sentence. You can take that, but what you are meant to do as a human being is discern. Take that headline, read what's underneath it, and use your discernment to follow up on what they're saying. No one should take anything at face value without researching it. And that's the cool thing about the scientific method. And that's why we need to listen to scientists, because that's the cool thing, is you can check it. You can check the science and check it, because that's what that is. You can look to see what kind of study was done. You can look to see whether it's quantitative or qualitative, information. So I guess it's really knowing. You can read something in the media, but make sure in that article they will have little blue things, or a lot of times they're blue, right?
Mhm.
And mine, they're blue. And anything they say, like in that sentence, if that's blue, you can click that and it will take you to the source of what they're saying. In other words, where they're getting their information. So try to do that. It's really, really helpful. I hope that, we all just kind of stick to, if you're talking to somebody, and I don't care if it's an ER doc or who it is, if they are not an infectious disease specialist or an epidemiologist, then that needs to be weighed. You know what I mean? Like, yes, they may be a professional, but if they are not those two things, then you need to weigh it with those two things and what they're saying, because those are the experts. So we're getting more and more comments. Hold on. Let's see. So much negativity. How did they find out what I was watching? I don't know. Very odd. So much negativity. Can you tell a good story of your childhood? Since you lived in the 80s and I didn't. Ooh. Did I just get poked? Ouch.
Maybe.
Ouch. if I stand here, yeah, let's not talk. Let's not get mean to each other. Yeah, that's not, cool. Hi, Amanda. If people played it cool, things would be a lot better. Well, see, here's the thing, Chris. You can play it cool, but you still need to be prepared. And the problem with the people playing it cool, or what is considered cool here, is people just not caring about others and walking around and licking lampposts. Okay, they're not really licking lampposts, but it's the same thing. And they're playing it cool by dismissing the fears of those who can die from this. And so that's a huge problem, because the immunocompromised, well, I'm just immunocompromised, like that's a huge deal to me. Don't tell, people are saying things like this, is like, don't tell me my life doesn't matter. My daughter is hearing things like this, and she's like, my mom's immunocompromised, like that's a big deal. But no, I agree with you. Keeping a cool demeanor and being rational about what you do, being thoughtful about the process that you need to go to protect yourself. Those are all good things. But you don't learn those skills without undergoing trauma before that. Like, this is one of those situations where traumatic experiences and leaning on the lessons learned from that can be helpful if you've begun to heal. Um, let's see. Yes, this is an open discussion. Absolutely. This is definitely an open discussion. All that I ask is that, no name calling. That's not cool. And let's try to really put thought into how we're interacting with one another. Hold on. Yeah, I had a little bit of a coffee break, I think.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Let's see. Yes, I know. Chris. Okay, yep. Right, it's an open discussion. Anyone can share. Yep. Hi, Carol.
Hello.
Megan, since you lived in the 80s and fine words. I know, right? I feel attacked. Guess what? I lived in the 70s too. I was born in 78. Totally kidding, no story. People are referring to loss of life among the elderly as if they were just disposable. Yes, that is true. And yeah, and it really, and this is the thing. These times will show us a lot, and it will teach us a lot about people. It's going to teach us about the people that are around us. It's going to teach us about our communities. It's going to teach us about our systems. And it's going to teach a lot of us who have not had the lessons about what it means to be vulnerable. And without that protection, how are people, people like to feel safe. They like to feel as if they can set themselves up to where life can't hurt them. And you can't. And that's one of those things about life, is you can't predict it and things happen. And I really feel for those people who have not had those experiences, because this is going to be really difficult. This is not something that people have known how to deal with, Let's see. Okay, I think let's just hold on just a second. I have something. Okay, we need to. There. Okay. Bam. Did it. All right. Okay. No story. Why don't I write a book? Oh, right. That was one thing that I done. I had written the first page of my book, which may not seem like a lot, but it's a start. And just starting the story, I think, is a huge deal. And so that is something that I am doing. I am trying to use my time to wander around the house talking to myself, watching silly shows, painting, and writing if necessary, and just doing me. And the gym.
Mhm.
Athena's been more into the gym than I have, but we are trying. Okay. Such a good idea. Blair. Let's see if there's something that shows what I'm watching. It's the same person. I don't know. Yeah, I blocked them. It's okay. So, are there any questions for Athena? Ask it all. You got to type. Okay, so what's your GoFundMe for?
I own is at least a size to 2 sizes too small. So it's about time for clothes. Yeah. So that's why I have the GoFundMe up. Yep. And there's like socks and underwear and stuff like that, and all of it is of the color and of the style to where I could actually wear it to work once this quarantine's over.
And if she doesn't like the bra, I can cut it in half and use it as a helmet.
That's been an ongoing
joke. I still think it's funny. It's like, cut eye holes out. I know it's funny. Can you see some of my paintings? Yeah. Bam. There's 3 of them. Let's see. Is she your daughter? Kinda. I mean, it's okay. Here's the thing. When I was under the bridge, I was mom. So, everybody just calls me mom. But yeah, that's kind of the relationship. She's one of my kids. Like, always, if she calls me, I'm going to do what I mean, sometimes I can't do anything, but I'm going to do what I can. There is, just like Pierce is one of my kids. They're my kids. There's even we were talking about the difference in treatment. You can actually explain that better than I can. You want to tell them kind of like the difference in like, okay, my experience with being unhoused can be very different than someone else's because of who I was the mom. So I'm going to let Athena's going to take this one because she can explain. Why do you do this to me? Because.
So no one messed with her. She was the one that cooked food under the bridge, made sure that everyone was doing what they were supposed to be doing. She was the hard ass. Everyone was, respects Amanda. And then the peers, the kids, they'd all steal from each other and all this other crap. So that's just kind of the difference.
Nobody took my stuff. If anything, I had what I needed, and it was a very respectful type situation. I know it surprises people to know that I am kind, but I am definitely not nice. And that actually helped me out in that situation numerous times. Because you need to have boundaries. You need to be able to stand your ground when necessary. But you also need to be kind, and you need to be compassionate, and you need to love one another, and you need to show people what it's like to be a community and work together. And that was something that was really big for me. Warmy drinks in the morning. We're going to have our warmy drink in the morning, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do for the day. And what that does is it cements plans within ourselves. It gives us focus and it gives us motivation. And then the warmy drink is something that, of course, everybody wants a warmy drink on a cold, chill morning. That shit's a bomb. So, have a warmy drink, and then it just sparks that conversation. So a lot of times we'd split off to who's going to the food bank, who's going spanging, who's, going to stay at camp, who's, there was a distribution of working together in a community. And that was really important. And that's why it was right as the NAB team had just started and they swept us, and it was extremely devastating to our community. It really hurt us bad. It scattered our encampment pretty much we did go up the Juglet Arc encampment and ended up scattered from like UW on down to Soto. Let's see. I hope I could help. I don't have paper. It's okay. Thank you, Blair. I appreciate that. I have a son and he's not blood related. I got lots of kids. I have 3 biological, and my one, and she knows my son. He was up at the camp. That's actually why I was called Mom, is because that's how I was introduced. It was my mom. How did we all meet?
I don't know. I can't remember. How did we?
You had a tent over by Twitch and Swizzle.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then I moved up.
And there was yes, and we had started talking, and I was like, "Get your butt up here. You can be." And so you moved up into the upper encampment with us.
Yeah.
Because
Yep. That's how it happened.
That's how we met. Why do people with no place to go stay in cold areas and don't move to more good climates? Okay, number one, where is a climate that stays constant?
That, and then you also have to take into account the house. I mean, they can't very easily like travel down south. You know, there's a lot of seniors that are in wheelchairs.
Or when it's 100 plus degrees, they can't survive in the heat. You know, there's not a place that has like a consistent temperature. And there's natural disasters, there's things like that. It doesn't, you know, to put the burden on someone for why don't you leave,
it's
or
blaming.
It is.
If you really want to.
Yeah, it's blaming the person who is being victimized by really society. And our structures that are set to really re-victimize people and re-victimize the vulnerable. Marianne, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Exactly, Blair. The transportation is hard. Yeah, there are a lot of, when you're unhoused, the logistics of traveling, there aren't tons of options.
Yeah, it's normally backpack and walking down the interstate.
Yeah. Or
a lot of people can't manage.
Yeah, no. And if you don't have a dog, and as a female, that would be, you're signing your death warrant a lot of
Pretty
times.
much,
yeah, that's not.
I mean,
even males without, you know, you got to travel in groups anyway. And it's just very, very difficult. And let's see. No, I don't blame anyone. Sorry. No, we're just saying that those, you, Rayad, I'm sure that you're not, we're talking about, we hear this stuff a lot, these questions. This isn't, you know, I'm not necessarily just responding to you. These are things that we hear over and over and over. This is by no means just something you did. We're telling you how that comes to be. A lot of people don't even realize that it's placing the burden on the victim. And so that needs to be explained. It's not being mean to anybody for making a comment. I appreciate these comments. I appreciate these questions, because these are things that we need to talk about. These are the things that we need to be open about. So don't feel bad for asking questions. Go ahead, and I appreciate these questions, because these are things that we need to talk about. These are the things that we need to be open about. So don't feel bad for asking questions. Go ahead and so are there any other questions? No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys so very, very much. I hope you all stay safe during this. Again, this is very, very serious, and we will find out in the next 2 weeks how safe we're all going to be. Oh, hi, Blair. Tell your mom hi. And tell her I am going to catch up on her vlogs. I've seen her pop up a couple times, and I just have not gotten the chance yet. So it is in my mind, though. I will check them out. So anyway, Athena's GoFundMe is underneath there, of course, underneath the mailing address and the PayPal and everything. So if you would like to help her out with some clothes, go ahead. And we will stay safe as much as possible. We are both taking this very seriously. This is not, we are educating ourselves. We are making sure that we have up-to-date information and making sure that we stay safe. It's, you know, and making lots of jokes, because I think in these situations, sometimes gallows humor is, it's what keeps us functioning. And those of us who have been through some severe situations sometimes cope with making some very inappropriate jokes. Mhm. I'll tell her. Have a good day. Yes, sending love back. Thank you, Donald. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Athena, for finally coming on.
Yeah.
See,
Bye.
I got to have a special guest. What?